Now that everyone has their own app developed, and we do not want to keep it as a folder on our PC, right? We need people to see it. We need people to appreciate it, and that is where hosting comes in. Now, the apps that you make for your project need not be invested money onto, and we need not purchase any hosting facility. That is where Heroku comes in. Heroku is a platform as a service website where they give you a platform to host your website along with every functionality that you have created in it. There is no restriction that if you have a payment facility on your app, then there is no restriction that Heroku won't allow you to do so. There is Heroku is a great platform, and it allows websites to be hosted made in any tech stack, be it PHP or Python or Ruby or Scala, anything. So that's what is great about Heroku. Now, let me show you the official Heroku website. So yeah, this is the official Heroku website, heroku.com. And as I said, they have excellent support for all of these tech stacks. And whether your website is made in JavaScript entirely or Node or say PHP, like we are making one. So that is where they have excellent documentation, and you will be ready from your project to a hosted website in no time. So we'll be talking about Heroku as a platform now. And now let me show you, to get started with Heroku, you need to first install it on your local machine. That happens when you go on heroku.com/downloads, and then these are the various ways in which you can install Heroku on your local machines. If you have a Mac, then this is the command. If you have Windows, then there is an executable file that you need to download. And if you have Ubuntu, just a single command on your terminal will do the job for you. That will install the Heroku CLI on your local machine, and then you will interact from your local machine to Heroku using that command line interface. So now let us move forward and talk about the steps that go into hosting a project on Heroku. That is really easy, and you need not have to worry about it. We'll be talking about it from the point of view of Python as a tech stack. Now, be it Django or be it Flask, the procedure remains the same. What you have also, let me show you beforehand the way how to go about in hosting from the website. So yeah, so this is my account, and I go here and I just create an account and register and log in. Now, after logging in, the first screen that will be shown will be your current apps that are running. Now see, as you guys can see, this is my Python app, this is my PHP app, and this is again a Python app. So be it whatever the tech stack, Heroku has a support for it. So now, for example, let me show you. The deployment method on Heroku has two ways actually, which are very easy. You do so using the Heroku command line interface on your local machine, and we'll be talking about that. And we'll be also talking about the GitHub way. It is really simple, and I prefer that over the CLI, but CLI is the more technical way. So now, yeah. What you have to do is you have to create a proc file. Now, what is a proc file? Proc file will proc file is not a text file; it's just a file. It will tell Heroku what kind of worker dynos that you need. What kind of dynos do you need? So let me tell you, dyno is a Linux machine, isolated Linux machine on which your project will be running and will be computed upon. So since your PC alone does not have that computational power, you host your data on a isolated Linux machine, which is provided by Heroku, and that is what they call as a dyno. Now there are various different types of dynos available as per their computational powers, and let me show you even that. So if you go on heroku.com/dynos, they will be telling you upon the dyno types that they have. So they have a free dyno, which most of us all are using, and we do not need the paid dynos because we don't create websites that scale at that level. So if at all you need to create a website which will be garnering very much attention from all over the world, then you can go for the paid websites, and they give you a good computational power. So this is what the RAM that they provide, and this table provides an insight into the amount of facilities that Heroku has provided with the various types of dynos. So yeah, in the proc file, you will have to specify the type of dyno that you want to have, and that will be web dyno, worker dyno, or time dyno. So the web dyno will be contributing towards keeping your app on, and the worker dyno will be contributing towards any API based facilities that your app has. So for example, if your app is contacting a particular API, and it is extensively contacting it, like for example, in a minute you are calling the API for hundreds of times, then you will need a separate worker dyno which will be helping you. So you just specify that in the proc file. It has a particular syntax that that needs to be typed in, and that is easily available in the Heroku documentations. Next, we will be talking about the requirements.txt file. Now, as from early, we have been saying that we need to create a virtual environment and make our projects in it, so that if anything goes nasty, it just happens in that virtual environment. And similar is the case in which the way you download the extensibles. So, for example, if my Flask app needs 2 to 3 pip installs, and which were not there beforehand on my on my local machine. So during the making of my website, I did 2 to 3 installs, and now they are present in my virtual environment. In that case, you will be needed to tell Heroku that these are the dependencies that my website has, and these are the dependencies that it will be requiring to fully function. So please install these dependencies and go about it. So this requirements.txt file will help Heroku tell that. So what you do is you just make this requirement.txt file, and I'll show you how does it look in a few minutes, and then you will get an idea about it. And then the next steps are very easy. You just have to go to Heroku website and create an app, and then follow these commands, which will allow you to interact with your Heroku app from your terminal itself, from your local machine. Or you can go about the other way, which is very easier through the gateway. Now let me show you the Heroku website and how do I go about it. So yeah. So this is my Heroku dashboard. My Heroku dashboard has, there are 3 apps that have been placed on my Heroku. None of them are still running. All have slept. And so yeah. So this little thing gives me all the information about when have I deployed a version of my particular website. So this particular website has had 25 new versions that I have deployed. So it tells me that there is this is the 25th version that is currently deployed. Now resources. So Heroku gives you add-on resources, like for database it gives you Heroku Postgres. Let me tell you that your Flask app, which has an SQLite support for database, won't work on a hosted platform like Heroku, because Heroku has an ephemeral file storage and your SQLite is just a file. So every time after 24 hours, the dyno restarts. This is the policy of Heroku. After the restart of dyno, the whatever additions or subtractions have happened to the database, they'll get vanished, and your database will come back to the original state in which it was deployed. So that is why we need add-ons of Heroku. Heroku Postgres is an add-on. It is a database that will allow your data to be persistent, and that is what you use when you have deployed your website. So now this is the deploy tab. So as this says, there are 3 deployment methods: the Heroku Git, CLI, the GitHub, and the container registry. So what did I do for this particular website of mine is that I hosted it, I pushed it to my GitHub and created a repository. So this is my GitHub ID and this is my repository name. So what do I do is I connect my Heroku with my GitHub to this particular repository. The repository's name on my GitHub ID is bboxkjsc. So after I have connected this Heroku to that repository, then I can just go down and choose to manually deploy every time that I have made a new commit onto the repository and I want it reflected on my website. So after this happens, I just go down and deploy the branch, and then I'll show you a live deployment right now. Let's see if my net is that fast. So this is how it happens. So it first of all, it detects an Python app. Since I have mentioned that it is a Python build pack, I will be talking about that. Now see, it has gone through my requirements.txt file, and it has shown that there have been no change in requirements, and that is why it is installing from the cache memory. So it has installed all the requirements that were present in the requirements.txt file. And now the proc file has shown that the type of dyno that I need is web dyno. So Heroku will provide me with that web dyno. And now you can see the 26th version of my website is deployed. So this is that it is that easy to host your Flask app onto the web and make people see it. After getting deployed, you can just view the Flask app. Let me show you the Flask app that we have hosted for your example. Till then, let me talk about this other tabs. So yeah, this is the activity feed that Heroku tells me on what date, what version of my website was deployed, what was the GitHub ID then. And then these are the settings that I have. So this is my app name and this is my build pack. Whenever you host a website from Heroku, you will have to specify your build pack. Now, since I was using Django on my website, this is the build pack that I have used. You can also use a domain name which you have purchased and just put it here, and then your website will be redirected to the domain name of your choice. Now, let me show you the website that we have hosted for you. So just as Arnav showed you the demonstration of the website, this is that same website that we have hosted on this GitHub, this Heroku URL. Now this particular URL, it was given to us by Heroku on a random basis because we did not specify a particular URL name. Now then let me show you how does it work. So it has the same working as it was shown. So yeah, so as you guys can see, this is the change that has occurred. Whenever I press edit, the new entry has got added. So as you guys can see, there was no change in functionality that happened after I have deployed my website. So Heroku is great in that. Now let me delete some entry. So let's say I delete the entry of my name itself. So yeah, so the entry is deleted. It's that easy, and website is working as it should. So coming back to the PPT, this is now I'll talk about this thing. What is this? So what do you do is when you choose to interact with Heroku using your Heroku CLI, you will have to initialize Git in that particular folder on your machine, and then you will have to set your config user email ID and username. Now be it whatever that is personal to you. Then we'll have this command run, which is Heroku git remote a your app name. In this condition, we'll specify a app name of our choice, and if it is available, if it is a unique app name, then Heroku allows us to have that app name, or it suggests us to choose a different app name. Then after that, we'll be adding all those files, and then we'll be committing it to the Heroku using a commit message, and then we'll be pushing it. After that, the procedure is same that we need just to deploy the website. So it is that easy. Now let me go ahead and show you what proc file and how does it look, proc file and the other file. So yeah, just a second. Yeah, so this is my This is Synergy Community's GitHub profile, and this is our repository, which is private right now. We'll be hosting it soon. And then this is the Proc file I was talking about. So just to show you, this does not have any extension, and it needs to be just a file. So I have specified that this app needs a web type of dyno, and GUnicorn is just a dependency that needs to be installed while deploying your apps on Heroku. So you will find good documentation about it. And then yeah. Now I'll show you the requirements.txt file. The requirements.txt file is looks like this. So these are the names, and these are the versions of the installment of the installment. So this is the Flask version 1.1.2 that was installed. Then we have SQL Alchemy that is required for database connections that was installed by version 1.3.19. So these are the dependencies that we need to tell Heroku that our apps depend on this. So please install this all. So yeah, that is it about the proc file and requirements.txt. And after we make this repository public, you can come over here and just have a look. And we'll be also sharing resources where there is in detailed exposure on how to go about the hosting on Heroku. So I assume that you will be hosting your website